you need nuk mum in the middle for people to dip. I disagree with this one. Yeah, like slimmer breast but thick thighs type of thing.
Are we still describing chickens?
just-
I'm not saying this while I was interested. I'm like, why are all these Japanese girls licking TVs? And then I got interested in the article, right?
The more you use it, the more AI knows what you want, and I guess the algorithms and whatnot.
Right.
So Taste Atlas did this list of 100 best cities to try local food.
Okay.
I want you to guess. Fuck, when I saw this, I was like, holy fuck, really? G'day. Welcome back to Broken Rice. This is Bao.
And Bao's bringing the energy. It's like, oh my gosh.
I'm awake. I'm energized. I've rested.
Damn, y'all. I done made my heart skip a beat right there.
Nice to be rested. Had a nice couple of days off.
Said I was loud. It's got something floating in this, but that's okay. I'm down for it. Oh, yeah. Max here. All right. Let's get it going. Yeah, I don't know. It's your cup.
It's just floaties.
No floaties?
What's up? What's going on?
Not much, man.
How's your week?
About to be poisoned by your water?
Not my water. It was whoever delivered that water.
Oh, okay. It's been good. It's really, you're the one that's been busy.
A little bit.
I just showed up and ate. If y'all don't know, Bal just put on an event here in his own home.
Yes, it was actually quite weird to have people in my place.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. It was good. It was at, had Sam
Right.
from Zad fly down from Hanoi and help us out or help me out with a dinner that I've been wanting to do for a while. I do these things a lot back home in Australia and whatnot around the world. Just more like a homely cooked dinner amongst friends,
Right.
copious amounts of wine, nice music.
Would you prefer home in Australia or here?
I like Australia more
Oh.
because of the setting. I usually do it in my parents' backyard. Nice little like farmland type of thing, and amongst the gardens, amongst vegetables growing here and there.
Right.
Nice table, long table down the middle.
So you like that more than like Southeast Asia tropical storms on a roof?
We had to bear a little storm during dinner, but I was actually really worried about, what people's reactions were.
You're
And
lucky.
It was really good, but people were like, chill out. Let's just move the table in more.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more.
You had like the
we gotta really
drunkest-
move it in now.
You had like the really drunk people on the edge. They're like, I don't care. Get me wet. So that
Poor
helped a
old
lot.
Chung,
He was
Timai, he was like getting soaked in the rain.
This dude's like wearing Balenciaga. He's like, just my pajamas. I don't care.
Yeah. But it was good. Nice little, I haven't been, when it comes to cooking, and I think people know that I don't cook as much as I want to, I guess, for the public,
Right.
as much as I want to. It's more, I'm still trying to figure out my path and where I fit in this culinary world.
Right.
Because,
I mean,
yeah, I have been cooking for a while, since like a teenager, but sometimes you need to step away and figure out what it is that you want to leave.
yeah, I think like cooking like has like an artistic ability to it. I've always heard like artistic people need to do like nothing so they can have that creative time.
Yeah.
But what did you learn from the dinner? Like, is it a path you want to keep taking, or did you learn you're like,
I definitely want to keep trying because it's, like I think we were speaking about this before. I've really deviated away from what I've been wanting to cook. And that's just through the parameters of like the different, I guess, consulting jobs I've been doing, different pop-ups, things that here and there. But the food that I did this past weekend is food that means a lot to me, which is like, I don't want to say it's Vietnamese foods because that puts you in a, I guess, in a bracket.
yeah, you didn't have any nip mom anyways.
I did have this complaint, not a complaint, but a suggestion that for it to be a Vietnamese home-cooked meal, you need nuk mum in the middle for people to dip. I disagree with this one, but,
Topic for another day.
topic for another day. Yeah, I don't want to say it's Vietnamese food. I always like to describe it as Vietnamese inspired because it is inspired by the culinary landscape of Vietnam, the flavors of Vietnam, the dishes of Vietnam, but just in a way that is unique to me.
Right.
And I can put my little like mark on it because at the end of the day, yeah, I wasn't born in Vietnam.
Right.
I'm not, really Vietnamese. I'm more Australian than anything else. So in Australia, we take cuisines from all around the world using whatever produce is around us and making the best we can with it.
Right. But at the end of the day, that's what a chef should do, is just kind of like cook who they feel like they are and who they represent, right?
For sure. Because to me, cooking is an extension of your soul.
Right.
Basically, you're sharing what it is that you do,
Mm-hmm.
what it is, what means the most to you, and you convey it through food. Your not so much food. I think cooking is one part, but it's also the delivery, the ambience, the atmosphere. I think needs to be conveyed through a chef as well.
Do you think like being a chef is more of like craftsmanship or more of like on the artistic side?
Um,
Random tough question.
I think there's two ways you can go about it.
Right.
I think Japanese is a very good example of craftsmanship. There's creativity
Over and
there,
over.
but there's repetition and always, finding the best produce, cooking it the best way, using the best techniques available to you,
Right.
and just constantly being better at that dish day in, day out.
Right.
So there's that craftsmanship, and then there's other chefs out there who want to be more artistic and creative. And
Right.
I don't know if the two go hand in hand, but I think there's only a handful of chefs out there that are very good at that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's an
That I've seen.
interesting distinction, because to me, like an artist is somebody who like takes a piece of their soul and through their medium
Yeah.
expresses himself.
Yeah.
Where it's somebody who paints, they do it through painting. Somebody does it through drawing, does a drawing. A fashion designer, they
Yeah.
create fashion, a piece of their soul, who they are, and they put it
Yeah.
into the fashion.
Yeah. And in all honesty, you're at the mercy of the dining public or the public, because they're the buyers, they're the diners. So you can do the best you can do, but at the end of the day, it's the people who eat and dine are gonna, I guess, I don't want to say judge, but like will lead you in a direction if what you're doing is, if the crowd you're doing it for or who you're doing it with is good enough or not good enough type
All
of
right.
thing.
So let's wrap it back into your dinner. Like, what was the feedback? Do you think like this is something like you can keep doing that, like expressing your soul? Like I said, it's Vietnamese inspired, but it's not.
I think I've always said I'm very confident in my own ability and what I can produce and what I want to share. I'm always somewhat, I don't know. This is kind of stupid to say, but also fearful of. A lot of times I say to people, I couldn't give a shit what people say, but deep down, you need people to actually like what you're doing.
Right.
For you to keep doing it. So you gotta somewhat care about what people think. So I've always been, very reluctant to cook this type of, I guess, genre or cuisine, this style in Vietnam, because like we both this, like people here are so passionate about their own cuisine and everyone's gonna offer their opinions, but it was actually a good feedback.
Yeah.
So quite happy with that. I can, as people know, like I'm a perfectionist. There's still things I want to be better at.
Right.
How it was delivered, how the setting was.
Yeah. I mean,
and,
besides the torrential downpour, was there any other moments you're like, fuck?
I think so I did it over 2 nights. The first night was pretty good.
Yeah, friends and family. If you
Friends and
miss that one up,
Well, yeah, that was more because the people coming that I had, were lucky enough to have dined. I think
you're right.
to me, it just meant a little bit more because each one of these friends or family that sat and ate played a huge impact in my time here in Vietnam. So it was a way to say, I guess, thank you for your encouragement. Thank you for your, just camaraderie, just allowing me to encourage me to just continue the craft and the path that I've put on the back burner for a little bit, and
Right.
I'm starting to find it better. So yeah, and I guess that took a little, like the adrenaline the next day just wasn't there as much.
Was it adrenaline or was it hungoverness?
I didn't drink that much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was just more in the moment. In the moment, I was just trying to make sure that everyone had a good time. Because for me, that's the most important thing that I could ever do is to make sure people will leave happy. Which is, for me, that's the only award that I want, to be honest.
What's the big thing you want to change, Nick, for next time?
There was too many people, to be honest.
Would you have like 20 people both nights?
Around about 22 each night.
Right.
But then it just, like, my goal was to be more homely.
Right.
I just didn't feel it was as homely as I imagined it to be. Because when I'm doing it in Australia or at home, it's just us.
Right.
So, tonight we had, it's actually really crazy. Like, I did this event not through sponsorship. I didn't want to do any sponsorships or anything. I just wanted to do this off my own back. But I'm very humbled and very grateful that I had messages of people reaching out. I was like, how are you doing dinner? Do you need this? Do you need this? I was like, well, I'm happy to purchase. Oh, no, it's on us. I was like, okay. And
man, you know what?
yeah.
You should have taken some free plates.
Fuck. I've been trying to forget about that.
Bro, I like literally after the night I done, I had the next night. So he's like, hey, bro, can you go to the other end of Saigon and pick up like staff meal? I'm like, yeah, no problem. I'll go to the other side of Saigon for you, bro. I got you. Got this. I come in. He's like, check this out. I mean, what was it, like 30 plates had fucking fallen and crashed? It was like 40 plates that he rented out. So that
these were, I didn't rent them out. These were like sponsored.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, there you go.
But obviously there's got to be, I'm going to have to replace that somehow, and definitely didn't make money.
Crashed 40 plates.
Oh, man. But that's what I mean. It was just people reached out and, they had seafood, had music. It was actually really cool. It was like, I didn't even think about it. I was just going to put Spotify on or something
right.
through just a portable speaker. But then this guy reached out. I was like, can we do the music for the night? He had like vinyls going and all these speakers going, and amazing seafood was provided as well. And it's crazy. But then, yeah, for me, it turns more, obviously, eventually it'd be good to turn this into like a more frequent thing or into a business or something like that. But usually when I do it at home, it's just, it's homely. There's camera people, there's videographers around. I was like,
felt like an event.
Yeah. It was an event, but for me, I guess it's always good to document it. But for me, documenting, I just use my iPhone.
Right.
And so it was something a little bit different, something maybe in Vietnam I'll have to get used to more, because I guess even with videographers or photographers or like everyone that came, it was more, I was expecting like, he's a videographer, he's just one person with a camera, but it was like a whole crew. Right, yeah. And for me, that was just a shock, because it was great. It was amazing that happened, but for me, it sort of like took away from it being like a little home event. Yeah. Like people just coming over to my place and eating. So, but we have some beautiful videos and photos from that, so can't complain really. But the second night, I was a little bit more, I guess, I don't want to say nervous, but mindful, I guess. Right. Because it was more of the dining public. But again, amazing feedback, amazing vibe. Very different vibe, obviously, from friends and family. All right. But they created their own atmosphere, which is really nice to see. Nice. And I've been wanting to do these events a lot, and I've done a few in Vietnam. They are getting better. They are getting more receptive, but there's this... It's a little bit hard to get to, because it's communal dining. It's one long table, sitting amongst strangers, and it's just something that I think the crowd here aren't privy to at the moment.
Well, I think here it wouldn't be difficult because you're doing something. It's like, well, you're eating at home, so somebody's like, wait, I'm going to spend this amount of money to act like I'm eating at home. Yeah, is that where it's difficult?
And eating with strangers, right? And like, I'm not getting my own plate. I'm sharing with strangers. So, gotcha. Like I said, I've done a couple of these, and they've all been good. There's not, but it's just convincing people that it's a style of eating.
Gotcha. One last point, and then we'll move it on. Your favorite dish from the night and your least favorite.
Favorite dish from the night. Holy hell!
Was it something you made or Sam?
we made things together, which was
you
really
did a good
nice.
job.
Like whenever is help or collabs, I don't believe it as you do one dish, I do one dish.
So
We
yeah,
talk through the menu together.
gotcha.
One dish that I really liked, it's like choosing between like who do you like more, mum or dad. One dish, to be honest, I don't even remember the menu.
Oh yeah.
Actually, I really liked. I did a salt baked chicken.
Right.
So part of my heritage is Hakka,
Right.
which is I guess migrants from China. They move all over. There's a dish called salt baked chicken, yim kokkei. I did a version of that. Found a really nice, sourced a really nice chicken. Actually, it was from a neighbor.
Yeah.
So I go to her place and eat, and I had this chicken. I was like, I've been looking for this chicken for ages. Where did you? Oh, it's this farm. Blah blah. Blah. I was like, well, can I get
It's
some?
my cousin's brother's chicken.
Yeah, because it's a similar breed of chicken to the ones you find in Hong Kong, and the texture of the chicken in Hong Kong we call it wat, which is like silky and smooth.
And
Whereas a lot of
gelatinous
chickens,
skin.
whereas a lot of chickens in Vietnam are like, obviously you get your supermarket, your factory chickens, but even the free range chickens, they're true free range in terms of like they fucking run, like they go valuable. So they're constantly running, and they're not fed on lots of I guess nutrients. So
Right.
they're really lean and tough, which is a different type of way to eat chicken in Vietnam as well.
Right.
But for this style of dish, you need a more fattier chicken, really nice skin. Like slimmer breast, but thick thighs type of thing.
Are we still describing
I'm
chickens?
describing chickens.
Are we describing chickens here?
But yeah, and I did that, but I added some like, so it's a Hakka, it's a Chinese dish, but added some, Vietnamese flavors to it through like, because usually they don't add lime leaves or kaffir lime leaves, they don't add roll rum to that, and that's
Right.
sort of like the Vietnamese element to it. It's usually seasoned with ginger, lots of ginger, lots of salt, MSG obviously, but then
Yeah.
I added, I aged it in shaoxing, so Chinese wine, for like a day, and then marinated with lots of, so the salt element, there was salt, but I added nuoc mam as well, fish sauce. So I added a different umami
Right.
flavor to it. And least favorites,
Yep.
actually, I really like the oysters that we did, but I'm just not a big oyster person.
Okay.
Like
so
I
just
can eat it,
preference.
but yeah.
I do like. I mean, I think it's very common to start. See, everybody likes oyster usually, so you get the raw oyster with like
Yeah,
some type of
exactly.
like sour sauce.
Yeah.
Just a
Yeah.
classic, nice
Yeah.
start always. I never hear anybody complain about it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Nice.
yeah.
But so 22 people, 13 courses, and you probably use like 5 people that worked on it together. Like,
Yeah, so any events I do, I always have a nice team that always volunteers and helps me out.
right. Well, what if I said in the future,
Yeah.
you may not need that help?
What do you mean?
I'll tell you why. Coming up after the break.
So what do you mean? I don't need help. What? Huh?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's been a hot topic. We're probably behind the
8 ball.
yeah, whatever that
That's
saying
a
is.
saying, no?
But like, what about like artificial intelligence?
Artificial intelligence.
Like, what I've seen a lot is stuff popping up like Cloud Kitchen. I don't think it's called Cloud Kitchen, but it's like Cloud Chef or Cloud Kitchen or something like that, where pretty much like chefs come in and they're like giving AI robots like these recipes, right?
Yeah.
And these robots are able to replicate these recipes.
So robots replacing chefs.
AI, robots, like the whole industry in general.
Wow.
I mean, you start to see it like leak in a little bit with like front of house with like McDonald's. Like, I think I'm a pretty sociable person, and then sometimes I'm like, I think I'll just go to the kiosk.
Yeah. And then I think is it Haidilao Lao or one of those hot pot places? They have like a robot that comes out with all your things.
Bro, a lot of them in Korea and Japan, they'll have the
Yeah.
little robots that come with it,
Yeah.
and they'll like bring out your food. It's pretty fun. It's cool, right?
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah,
I actually never thought about this.
right. Because I've always thought about like, I don't know. I've not worked in the food and beverage industry, but
Yeah.
like, could you teach could you have a robot for like a line cook? Could you have that?
Well, it's crazy how fast technology goes.
Right.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if it does.
Right.
Well, like a lot of okay, walking contradiction again. One of I guess the biggest complaints I would ever have is chefs don't get paid their dues,
Right.
but restaurants actually can't really afford to pay actual true wages for chefs.
Right.
So, but they need to keep costs down. They need to keep prices down to become more affordable, right? So
Yeah. What if you just had to pay electric bill for like your robot,
exactly
right?
yeah. And instead of having, I guess, I don't know, 3 chefs to do one job, you have 1 robot to do one
Right.
job. It's scary, I think. But then,
I'm just thinking about it from like, oh, where are you going? Come back. I just think about it for like recipe development. Like, why couldn't you just feed that into an AI? An AI being like, oh, sorry.
mate, Chat GTP.
Actually, you just
GPT.
need to Chat GPT. Or like,
Mate, I'm gonna call him Chad.
oh, actually, you need like 5 more grams of like salt. Or
Yeah, because I had a friend talk to me about this because I guess his realm is all this AI realm and stuff like that. He said he used to do, I think he has to produce news articles or something. He used to do like, I don't know, it was a small amount per week, but now using AI, he has to produce more because that technology is available.
Right. Yeah.
And then the more you use it, the more AI knows what you want and I guess the algorithms and whatnot.
Right.
So there's so much available information on the internet. It makes sense to use it to do better recipes. But oh fuck,
But think
that's
about
gonna
this.
replace
Think
me.
even like a home chef though. So say like you're home and you're sous chef. You get
Yeah.
the AI sous chef, right?
Yeah,
And it's almost kind of like Alexa Play or something like
Yeah.
that. So it's like, you're like, I want this recipe. And it's like, okay, well, today's 82% humidity and this amount of degrees. So
it's
you need
'cause
to
it's so
add
smart.
more flour
Yeah.
and less water.
Yeah.
And you need to set your oven at this time to have
Yeah.
this exact texture.
yeah. I guess why
How cool
not
that
use
would
it?
be, right? Yeah.
Well, I guess it makes life easier, no, for the novice home cook as well.
I think for baking, it would
Yeah.
be more important because I feel like baking is so scientific and precise. Where
Yeah.
cooking is like, I mean, it's
Well, yeah,
still
you
science.
still got to use an element of taste.
Right,
You still got to use your palate
right.
more than anything else, which I don't think can a robot. Well, I'm gonna say in the future someone's gonna develop something where a robot can fucking taste it and tell you if it's perfect or not, and they'll like use your own taste buds.
Right. Well, I mean,
Technology is running that way.
we're kind of on the way, really. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was like 2 years ago. Did you see like the Japanese scientists, like they make the TV where it like has taste?
TTTV
食べたいものは何ですか
甘いチョコレートが食べたいです
After telling the device what you want to taste, it plays video of the food while it whips up a concoction of liquids to strike just the right flavor balance, and then sprays it on the screen to be licked off.
すごいちゃんとミルクチョコの味がして甘くて美味しいです
What?
Yeah. Like, I think, okay, it's been a while, but pretty much it's like a TV and like has the food and it sprays like a film on it
Yeah.
that will have like the taste of like the image or video it's being shown.
Yeah.
You like read the article and I'm not saying this while I was interested. I'm like, why are all these Japanese girls licking TVs? And then I got interested in the article, right?
Okay,
So I
Max.
was like, oh yeah, science.
I
Okay,
was
yeah.
thinking something else, but okay.
Yeah, so they're like licking these TVs. I mean, look, literally look at the
Licking
articles. It's just all these girls, like Japanese girls licking TVs. You're like, what's going on over here? What's going on in Japan? There's a licking TV epidemic going
Yeah,
on.
right. So creating taste through TV.
Yeah, there's like a lot of cool science. It's all, I don't know why it's always in Asia.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, I don't know. But like even in Singapore, like
Yeah.
I think I've seen some research where they're trying to send like electrical currents.
Yeah.
So it almost looks like you're hooking up. Remember when your car dies and you got to hook up the battery to another car?
Yeah.
Man, it almost looks like they do that to your tongue, and they can send like currents that will give you the sensation of either like salty, sweet, bitter.
Yeah.
They didn't say umami though.
Fuck.
So
We all should have
Lacking.
listened to Sarah Connor, Terminator.
how did it be bad?
Yeah. Skynet is here. Fucking hell.
Is that cool? I mean, it's kind of interesting. Like,
Yeah.
will AI and technology kind of ruin
Yeah.
the fun of cooking?
Well, you're still gonna need some type of human element because, like I was saying before, it's cooking for me. It is hospitality in general. Having friends over, it's it's human heart to heart interaction. It's soul. I don't think can robots or AI ever replace this.
Do you think
'Cause
AI could make a better business model and menu than you?
I don't want to say that because that's my job.
Yeah.
No, potential clients don't listen to that. But okay, if I'm going to be absolutely honest, like why not use it? Because it's instant, is it not?
Right. It's instant.
You put some parameters in. You tell them, oh, I want to do a 40-seater restaurant.
Demographic. Give them your demographic.
Location, and I've had a friend use this just as a joke, and she showed me it's a full render,
Right.
like a floor plan. I think it even worked out how many staff you need, a sample menu, sample design, even what the restaurant could look like in an instant. Where asking me to do it, I'm going to take a couple of weeks or a couple of months.
Right. And why wouldn't you just like...
And why wouldn't you?
And you could put in a type of AI too, where you could almost like take a picture of the kitchen and be like, make this the most efficient kitchen possible.
Yeah.
And so it's like this plate goes here, this pan goes here.
If you think about it, then why don't I use it?
I don't know. Why don't you?
Yeah, maybe I should use it. Maybe I should give Chad. I'm going to call it Chad. Chad GPT. Chad. Instead of chat. Don't worry about me. Yeah, maybe I should just fucking use this for any line of work that I'm about to.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? I mean, the future is like, at the end of the day, we may get to a point where it doesn't need a human element, but we're all going to take advantage from learning how to code and use it. Not code, but so much like put in the information it needs to give you the best answer.
Yeah.
So you can definitely use it in so many fields.
I think I'm going to look into this actually. It's not free, is it? You got to pay for something.
Some things are free, some things aren't. Matters what you want.
I guess it just comes down to you get a better product if you.
I mean, do you want a slimmer breast and like wider thighs, or do you want?
Do you want to lick the TV? I don't know if you know. I didn't really take notice, but I just want to take time to do a shout out to a very good friend of mine, actually, one of my best mates, Daniel Calvert. He recently got. I'm trying to remember from memory. I don't really pay attention to it, but I'm going to talk about a restaurant list.
Right.
The world 50 best. He got 37.
Nice.
37th.
Where's he at?
He's in Japan.
Japan. Okay.
Tokyo. Just want a quick shout out to that. But do you even pay attention to these lists? Because I have no idea who's there. I only saw that he was, so I just want to congratulate him.
I saw the list, and I feel like I do the human element where I try to be too negative with it. I'm like, why is that there? And I'm like, just congratulates everybody. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be negative.
Yeah, because it's quite subjective. I don't know how these things are voted. It doesn't dictate where I eat, to be honest.
Right.
But it's so crazy because also I read an article in Australia, and it was actually, I didn't really go through the list, but in the article it said there was no Australian restaurants in that list. And I thought that's so fucking crazy because there's some of the most amazing restaurants in Australia. Like you've never been into Australia, obviously, but yeah, I think it was just crazy because 100 restaurants, 0 from Australia. I was quite dumbfounded.
Well, did nobody go to Australia, or is it just like?
Is that the question? Did anyone go to Australia and eat, or is the argument that Australian restaurants aren't good enough? Or I would definitely argue against that because restaurants in Australia are fucking dope.
Yeah, are y'all just closed off the voting? Like y'all don't have Michelin, y'all don't have World's 50 Best, or y'all just like we're our own thing over here down south?
Well,
we do
in
it our
Australia
way.
they have the Good Food Guide,
Right.
and then they have the Gourmet Traveler Guide. I think the Good Food Guide it's actually not a bad measurement because it's not pitting restaurants against restaurants.
Right.
It's kind of similar to Michelin where they give 1 hat, 2 hats, 3 hats.
Nice.
I don't really like guides where you do 1 to 100 or whatever because
that's hard.
It's hard to say this orange is better than this apple.
This 37th is better than this 38th.
People's budgets are different. It's so hard to compare restaurants.
And they
like
get
that,
spread out too. Like with the list, to be fair, like they get very centric on certain cities.
Right.
Like my thing is like you're like, well, Tokyo. There's always a lot of Tokyo on this list. Yes, 39 million people in like Tokyo and then the metropolitan area.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it would take you 20 years probably just to.
Yeah. it's crazy because there's a friend of mine, Josh Nyland, I think quite famous now. He does like a restaurant that centers around seafood,
Right.
and butchering of fish, like reimagining fish in terms of like meat. Like he will do like cut into like cutlets or like a ribeye or something like that.
Right.
He just does some really crazy stuff, and it's just it's so crazy that he wasn't even on the list. But yeah, talking about, I don't know why, but I actually think it's a good thing somewhat that Australia isn't amongst that, because from what I've noticed and what I've experienced, the mentality of Australians, we don't really care much for guides and lists.
Yeah.
It's like you go out to eat. It's not like, oh, I went out to this top 50 best restaurant. I went out to this
2-star.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just,
gotcha.
I went to this restaurant and it was really good. So who knows where that goes. So, but yeah. But speaking of lists, I think after this little break, I just want to test you on a cheeky little list.
What type of list?
It's the best food cities for street food.
All right. Coming up next.
Sorry, it wasn't street food. It was local food. So you always like to test me on my knowledge about cities and
All right.
top lists and stuff. So our mates over at Taste Atlas did this list of 100 best cities to try local food.
Okay.
I want you to guess. Fuck, when I saw this, I was like, holy fuck, really? So try to guess the top 5.
Just like local food in the city.
Best cities to try local food.
Man, how do you make a list like this? How do you even judge it? Oh, man.
There's people out there doing lists, man.
Okay, I think like, I don't know why Mexico City just like popped up in my head.
Oh, not too bad. That's 6.
I'm getting top 5 of Mexico City. Man, tacos everywhere.
This is very surprising.
Taco
So
stands,
don't think. I think when I researched it a little bit more, it's not really about street food. It's about local food.
Right. So, you know what's weird is like, I kind of like always want to say Japan because people love Japan so much. But then like, I'm like, man, Japanese like to take other cuisines and make it their own so well. Does that count? So I don't know. I'm thinking way too much about this. What country, you know how I'm thinking about this? What country hates other nations' foods and only loves their own food?
It's a good way to think about it.
So like I'm in Italy right now for some reason in my head. So I don't know where to pick in Italy. I think like Naples or something.
Not bad. Number 4.
Yeah.
You're going down the right track.
Because like I just think like they're just like, I want Italian food. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how I'm kind of think of it. Man, I feel like to me, there's like too much immigrants in like France and Paris and stuff. Like, and like Germany, like there's too many kebabs, so they probably don't like count that as local.
Well, Paris is number 8.
Okay, yeah, okay.
But no German cities in the top 50.
Yeah, I didn't think there would be at all because I don't know if they count as kebab German. Like I don't know. Apparently not. Apparently not local.
To these guys,
local.
no.
Only schnitzel and big beer
Yeah.
and currywurst are German. Let me think. Let me go. Let's
So
see.
out of the top 5, you only got 4 Naples.
Right. There's got to be like, come on, like Bangkok.
Bro, 33.
33?
Yeah. How crazy is that?
Again, is it like one of those things where you get like, they're just thinking they're like, oh, there's too many pizzerias here. There's too many people moving here doing
No,
pizza.
but like Thailand, it's just so much local food, no?
Dude, come on, like Hong Kong, maybe it's too international.
5.
Okay, yeah, man, because
But
like,
I'm really surprised that Hong Kong is 5 because there's a lot of there is local food, but it's also influenced by other countries.
so international, right?
Yeah.
So that's where you get the point where you're like
So this is what this list was like, quite confusing, to be honest.
right. I just thought Hong Kong because one thing special about Hong Kong is like you look at one building,
Yeah.
and you maybe look on the first floor, you're like, oh, my restaurant's not here anymore. You're like, oh no, it's on the 9th floor. So like I was like, I can cram them in there, right?
Yeah.
Man, for some reason I'm feeling like Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
KL, where's KL? Not in the top 50.
Okay, not in the top 50. Wow.
Crazy.
They do love Japan. Maybe they're doing too much Japanese food. I don't know.
I'm gonna let you know, in the top 50, not many Asian countries or
Really?
cities in the top 50.
I mean, I'm trying to like not make this so Vietnamese centric, but it's got to have like Saigon on there.
No.
way.
You want to know where they put Vietnam?
What's
Oh,
give me
Ho
the
Chi Minh
highest.
City. I would have thought Hanoi was on the list. It's not even on the
See,
list.
I think if Saigon had more than Hanoi.
90.
Number 90. No, Hanoi?
Huh? No Hanoi, but Ho Chi Minh City, 90. Crazy.
But like, I mean, we got so many people selling local food, they have to walk around. They can't even stay somewhere.
So according,
Okay.
you're gonna be really surprised with this. So when I saw it, I was like, holy.
You know
hell.
what's funny? When you say something like this, I feel like this is a list that's going to have somewhere with America on it, but I don't think anywhere in America deserves to have it.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly count, but keep thinking of the top 5.
Right.
In the top 50, there's 9 cities from the USA.
9th cheese.
9 cities from the top.
I can't believe, you know where I'm kind of ashamed of myself. I didn't even think about like, oh, you got to have like Delhi on there. Delhi, India.
Where 16. Yeah, low.
Is that the highest Indian city?
Yep.
Yeah, because to me,
Mumbai was 34.
Yeah, I was going to say it could be like Delhi, Mumbai, then maybe
Yeah.
like Kolkata. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
This is a tough list, this one, but you were down the right track of Naples.
Oh, there's another one, like probably something like, oh, where's my Italian geography? Oh, it's not Rome. It's definitely not Rome.
Number 2.
Okay.
Right. Number 1, I'm just like, what the fuck?
What? Is it still in Europe?
Still in Italy, bro.
It's still in Italy?
Yeah.
How many more damn cities we got?
Huh?
Wait,
Right.
they got 3 in the top 6?
Yeah. 3 of the top 5.
Who let the Italian person write this?
Mamma mia.
Man, he done had his cappuccino in the morning. He's like, 3 of 6, not bad.
Yeah, number 1 is crazy.
Like, what part of Italy, north or south?
My geography. South.
Somewhere like seafood, lots of seafood.
No, mid-south. Is it mid-south?
Before it starts to curve.
Before it starts to curve. Let me just quickly Google.
It's got to be like Florence, then, right?
Yep. Florence, number 1. Crazy, huh?
But that's the thing is like, you know what's funny is like, if I want to travel to Italy, I don't know if, like, Florence is probably on my top 5 or 6 list for
Sorry.
cities to hit, but like,
Florence is like middle top. I said south.
I kind of, before you
Germany.
curve, right? Yeah, that's good. I kind of got you.
But crazy, man.
Hold on. So that was 1, 2. What was number 3?
Oh, you haven't got 3 before.
Oh, I haven't gotten 3.
3 I can sort of get, but I've never been here. South America, I think.
South America. Oh, like Peru.
Nope. Where's Peru? Peru?
Or sorry, that's not a city, is it?
Oh, yeah. it's a
Lima.
country, yeah. Lima.
Lima, Peru is what I was thinking.
Lima's number 3.
Okay, yeah, Lima, definitely.
Crazy.
People in
crazy
love
list.
of Lima and food,
Yeah.
man. It's crazy. Like the popularity
Yeah.
of like Peruvian cuisine the past
Yeah.
couple years has just been like on a freaking ship. Not
Yeah.
a ship, but like a rocket.
Well, like speaking about I guess the 50 best, there's a lot of South American.
No, there's like a lot. I mean, I
Yeah.
think 2 of the top 5 were from Lima.
Yeah.
I've been to both of them.
So I'll let you know the top 10. Florence.
Okay.
Rome.
Okay.
Lima.
Okay.
Naples. Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Mexico City.
Yeah.
New York City. Number 7.
Yeah. That's
Really?
probably not a bad one though.
What the hell is New York local food?
Just like bagels and pizza. But that's the thing is like, no, it's so like, the thing is like, they're probably like, if you go to Flushing, New York,
Yeah.
where there's like the huge Chinatown,
Yeah.
like
But
they're
that's
probably
what-
counting that. They're probably counting that though.
But that's I guess.
I mean, how long have Chinese people been in New York?
Yeah, but then why not have, bro, no Chinese cities in the top 50?
Oh, that's crazy. Because to me, like I was thinking, but I just felt like they were going to be like, they didn't want China on the list or something.
No Chinese cities in the top 100.
They're too busy doing that white people food trend.
But so many, what was it? New York City, Paris, Tokyo,
Right.
Milan to round up the top 10. Crazy.
Another Italian city.
Yeah, but yeah, I think that what I said before, 10 cities from the US. It was New York City, Los Angeles,
I get
Chicago, San Fran, New Orleans, St. Louis,
I get those, but compared to the whole world,
Atlanta, Nashville, Santa Fe, Las
Santa
Vegas.
Fe?
Las Vegas?
Santa Fe?
Yeah. You know more about these cities than I will ever do, but I just found this list like crazy.
Well, even like if you go to Nashville, like what are you thinking? Like hot chicken? Like other than that, like it's not
Fried chicken.
Yeah, hot chicken.
Hot chicken, yeah.
But it's not like you don't even think about Nashville for barbecue, really.
Yeah, so crazy.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I don't know.
Disgusting.
List, man. Like
Disgusting list.
basically every city in Italy was mentioned.
Yeah. I don't know if this was like, they just like took their like 19-year-old intern that like traveled to Italy over summer and was like, hey, make this list or what happened, but that's pretty bad.
Yeah, so it's interesting. What is considered local food in a city?
Yeah, that's hard too because like, again, if you have somebody that moves to that city and starts cooking, does that then become local?
Yeah, but shouldn't it, I would approach it as if it's local, it's like the dish has already been there from day one.
I like that my strategy of like what country hates other cuisines was like a good
that's
strategy.
what I mean. Italy. What would be your, I guess, top 5 cities in your opinion for like
Local food?
local food that you've traveled? Because you've traveled to fucking everywhere.
Yeah, you got to have like, I mean, again, especially the problem is like you almost got to change it to like per capita because some cities.
Maybe not. Oh, do you want to do local food or do you want to do like cities that you just like the food there?
I could do the foods I like. I could do the cities I like the food there.
Yeah,
Like clearly,
let's
like
do that.
I love the food in Saigon. I live here.
Yeah.
So that's obvious. I'll try to do 5 that aren't so
You're
obvious.
fucking leg up again. Like
Yeah.
a Saigonese or Vietnamese.
I'll try to do 5 that aren't just like right there. I mean,
Yeah.
to me, like Delhi, India, it's one of my favorite places to eat. It's like I don't know if I could eat all the time but you get a lot of like Punjabi food, just so heavy, so fatty. The bread, the spices, it's amazing. Actually, like I love eating in Malaysia a lot. I'd probably pick Penang over KL. It's a tough one for me. It's like back and forth. I'd probably pick Penang. Another good food city. I mean, you can't leave out Japan. Tokyo's pretty amazing. But again,
So
like
you got, what are we up to now?
3. There's 3. To me,
You have 4, Vietnam.
I was not going to count Vietnam just
Okay.
because it's so obvious. To me, like I love eating in China when you go to China.
Yeah.
Like whether it's
amazing food over there.
man, I don't know. Like I love Yunnan province, so I love like that mala, that spicy numbing. So when you're in Sichuan, definitely one of my favorite places to eat.
Yeah.
But I could also do like Shanghai or something like that. Damn it.
That's 7 now.
I know, because like I was going to say Hong Kong, and then I was going to say like another favorite.
I
It's
only
like,
asked for 5, bro. Your top 5.
I know, but like you could also eat like Bangkok, Thailand's good. Too much good food out there. And
so much good food.
I'm also not very good because I just mentioned everything in Asia.
Well, this is why I wanted to bring this list up. Like, I think out of the top 100 from just a quick count, a handful of countries from Asia.
Right.
Crazy.
Yeah, too much good food over here, man. Because I didn't even mention like Mexico City or anything like that. Man, yeah. Okay.
But yeah,
Definitely biased.
that's another interesting list.
Just like that list. Just like that list I shit on. I am just as biased the other way.
Friends over at Taste Atlas, come up with some more interesting lists, please.
Yeah. Mamma mia.
Yeah, you're hungry? I'm starving.
I'm definitely want to get some lunch.
Yeah, let's go get something
All right.
to eat.
You want pizza?
Just speaking about so much Italian. Actually, there's a good Italian place around the corner.
Yeah.
Nah.
We'll grab some Vietnamese food.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah,
and
thank you.
that's us. See you on the next one. Peace.
Peace. We're recording. I'm getting water. Welcome to the podcast, y'all. It's Max here with Broken Rice.
It's like fucking killing my ears. And I'm deaf as well.
Just grabbing myself a little bit of wee water. I ain't taking a wee little piss now, am I?
What's with this Irish thing you got going on? It's like, do you want to go to fucking rabbit hole after this?
Tapping into me roots.